Making a garden thrive is one man's passion and pursuit. Join me as we meet the man behind one of the most creative and innovative products on the market today. And as the name says, it's well worth it.
I like what everybody likes. Different annuals and perennials, different textures and shapes and smells, things that look pretty all year long. What frustrates me about gardening is my enormous water bill. I have 8 cycles on my sprinkler system that run for 10 minutes a cycle. That's 80 minutes of watering a day. That's a lot of water and a lot of money every month. I can't afford it. So I designed a new product. It's well worth it. It's a new type of a well that conserves water. A well that you can wrap around any plant or tree in your yard and keep it there. A well that will contain the water and fertilizers and last indefinitely. A well like that would be well worth it. That's what I call it, well worth it.
Well Worth It solves the most common problem with an innovative and effective approach to managing our most precious resource, saving you both time and money.
Some of the problems with traditional watering is that the water doesn't always stay where you want it. The sprinklers, sure, they broadcast a lot of water all over the place, but is it really effective? If you use a hose to fill up around your tree or something, it just washes away. Fertilizers wash away. It's not effective. I have solved that problem with a well. My well, well worth it. Water stays within the well. Fertilizers are contained. It's perfect. You're gonna love them.
It solves a very important problem because I am able to walk around in my rose garden and go around each of the roses, and with the Well Worth It product in place there, I can water directly from the rose or under the rose straight down to the roots. If I fertilize, I can do the same. Liquid fertilizer, I pour it in or water it in, and it goes directly and straight to the roots every time.
Fertilizers are far more effective with Well Worth It. For instance, granule fertilizers require a concentration of water to break down. Have you ever noticed in your yard when you fertilize with granule fertilizers that they just seem to scatter all over the place? Well Worth It solves that problem. It keeps the granules contained within the well. Every time you water that well, the process begins. The little granules start to break down. Liquid fertilizers, on the other hand, are generally mixed and then poured at the base of a plant or tree. Often on slope landscapes, hillsides, or anywhere in your yard, the solution seems to run off and away from the plant. You're wondering if it's doing any good whatsoever. Well Worth It solves that problem. It keeps the fertilizers contained within the well. There is no runoff.
Well, I'm Brian Timoney. I'm one of the priests here at Christ the King Church in Pleasant Hill. The main problem was at this particular site, there is a slope, slight slope, but there's a slope in the ground. And when we water the plants, the water would all flow down the slope. And so it was really a waste of water. And like most people here in California, we're very conscious of the need to conserve water. Particularly this year, where we had so little rain. It's going to be a real problem perhaps in the summer. So this was a solution that really worked. Well, the main thing was the waste of water. Really, that was the main thing. How could we water these plants in a way that would conserve water and yet be enough water for the plants? And this seems to have solved the problem. It's a very simple thing, yet like all good inventions, simplicity is the real mark of the genius behind it. And it has worked for us. It has really worked for us. We don't require so much water as before. And so we don't have to water it, as frequently as before, because the water stays in place. It doesn't flow down the hill. So that's the main advantage of this, and that's the genius behind it all. That there's water, there's enough water for the plants, but we don't have to use as much.
Well, about 9 years ago, my gardener's brother, his organization, put in a new sprinkling system for my lawn, everything landscaped, and then they put a drip system in for my garden section. Well, the drip system never worked from the start. The hoses would be all over the place. None of them were directed towards the plant. So I never knew are they getting enough water? Am I giving them too much? And I finally gave up and just watered them like twice a week. But I didn't know how much water they were going to absorb. According to the temperature, I would water them twice, but the water would run down the hill. So there was a no-win situation. I just threw my hands up and just watered them according to what I felt was right for my flowers. And I guess they made it, but it was a hit and miss. And I'm so glad that I have this now, that his invention, I think, is going to work very well. Carefree, no worries. I water them once a week, fertilize them once a month, and that takes care of that.
Well Worth It is made of a flexible synthetic material. It's installed in 3 easy steps. Step 1, dig a 3-inch trench around your plant or tree. Step 2, bend the well around the plant or tree, simply snap it together and put it in the trench. Step 3, replace the soil. That's it. It's that easy. Now you can feel confident knowing that the water is being placed exactly where it belongs, within the well. To make a well larger than 8 feet, simply snap together the 8-foot tree well with one of the other sizes that are available. The wells come in 3 sizes. There's the 4-foot well that's ideal for small plants and vegetables, for instance tomatoes. Tomatoes need a specific amount of water each week or every 2 weeks. This well you can fill up and monitor exactly how much water your tomato plant's getting. The next size is the 6-foot well. The 6-foot well is meant for medium-sized plants. I like to use a 6-foot well on all my roses, my hydrangeas, my rhododendrons. I can monitor exactly where the fertilizer is, keep the water contained. They're beautiful. You're going to love them. And lastly, the 8-foot tree well, specifically designed for trees. All 3 are interchangeable and can be snapped together. You're going to love these.
But managing water is extremely important in California. We're running out of water. The cost of water is rising and will continue to rise. And we're constantly looking for new and innovative ways to manage water and to conserve water. And what we found is this helps retain the water for a longer period than a normal dirt berm that we would normally use in a remote area like this.
Well Worth It will practically last forever. It's made of a flexible synthetic material that is resistant to extreme hot and cold environments. It will work in any type of soil and maintain its shape and hold water perfectly. I'm conserving water now. I'm not running a sprinkler like I used to. I'm using my wells in conjunction with my sprinklers. The water is being placed exactly where I want it, around my plants and trees. It's well worth it.
Now you've met the man behind one of the most innovative products on the market today. People from all over have found the benefits of using a product that not only beautifies their garden, but saves our most precious natural resource.
I don't see why it wouldn't work for others, especially where there is any kind of slope in the ground. That's where it really comes to be a really good product. But it would work otherwise as well. Even with a flat surface, is obviously going to conserve water, and that's the main objective of it.
There's nothing on the market like Well Worth It. Well Worth It is simple to install, it's effective, and it lasts indefinitely. Well Worth It will accommodate any size plant or tree in your yard, whether it's on a hillside, a planter bed, or your vegetable garden.
Well Worth It. Build a beautiful water-wise garden and enjoy all that nature has to offer. For further information and how to purchase this innovative new product, please visit us on the web at www.wellworthit.co.